morning, Stephen.
Hello.
I am Brianne. I am one of the client services managers here at Solutions, and I am looking forward to doing 5 questions in 5 minutes with you.
Great stuff, and I'm certainly looking forward to this.
Cool.
Yeah.
So first one, what got you into nursing in general?
Ooh, I have a very diverse background.
Cool.
I kind of, my father, he was one of these that went into a job for life. So you kind of leave school, go into your employment, and then you retire somewhere along the line. My journey's not been quite like that. I started off in the army.
Yeah.
Did a time there, and then I went from the army and I became a firefighter, and I did 14 years in the fire brigade in England. And then where I lived in England, there was a very large hospital just over the way, but to get into the hospital you kind of needed a long bloodline of family relatives to get a job there, so it was always kind of a closed door community. And then they changed the shift pattern one day, and the doors opened, and they let everybody in to become nurses. So I walked into that interview with one thing on my mind, and that was, if I'm going to go into nursing, I'm going to train to become a nurse, and can you train me, basically? To which she said yes. I then went off, did my nursing, and became a registered psychiatric nurse. Popped out of that process, worked in England a little bit. Then Wednesday afternoon, we had a strange conversation with a friend in Tasmania in Australia, who offered me a job. It was kind of one of those weird Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So Thursday, I went back to my mum and dad and said, I'm moving to Tasmania. Then went from there, but rather than go like the traditional Eastern route, people go down through Asia, through Thailand, through Bali, that kind of stuff. I went west because I had a friend that left for Canada.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd go and spend some bit of time with him and kind of catch up, that kind of stuff. So while I was in Canada, I went to the forensic hospital in Coquitlam and I got a job there. So I've got 2 jobs going on now in 2 different countries.
You're needed,
so
two places.
I thought, I'll work it out. I'll go down to Tasmania for a year, give it a go there because it takes so long to get the Canadian paperwork going.
Yeah.
So then I went from Tasmania back to England, sorted out more of my house, and then to Canada and never looked back.
Wow.
So that's kind of it.
That's a pretty cool story. Yeah, that's definitely not no stereotypical story.
No.
That's really cool.
No.
So I guess this leads into my next question quite easily. I was going to say, what got you into travel nursing? So I feel like you've got a bit of a travel bug in you.
Yeah, there's always an old adage where a traveller never gets to the destination.
Yeah.
So you're constantly travelling. I always find that, like, when I go on vacations and things, it's always a travelling part I actually like. When I'm there, it's like, bored now, I want to go somewhere else. So working in a conventional kind of environment was fine. Mm-hmm. You get the stability, you get the routine, everything's there. But Canada's a huge place. And I always wanted to do this since meeting somebody that did travel nursing in the past, and it just sounded an ideal fit for what I wanted to do. So it's kind of working out where I'm going to be and how I'm going to do it at this point in my life. Mm-hmm. Things like having a house, for instance. I sold my house, got rid of all my possessions and bits and pieces. Simplified everything. Have to read in a book on it. Why do you need 15 pairs of shoes? So got rid of all that.
Well, Canada is tough. You know, we've got 4 seasons where
people have walk-in closets here. But in England, you just have like a little thing in the corner of the room with your clothes in it, and that's it. But you have a walk-in room for clothes here. So.
Yeah, we like to have our 4 seasons of attire.
Yes. Yes. So the time was right, and I came across Solutions by talking to one of your older employees, and just thought, great, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do with my life.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. What would be, you can go, just a tidbit of advice to give to any new upcoming travel nurses?
Okay.
Yeah. That's
What
a
would
big
be
one.
that advice?
Yeah, a tip or an advice that you could give them.
You've got to take the rough with the smooth. It's a difficult one to say. I'll do two of these.
Yeah,
because
please
one's
do.
more positive than the other one. What I've found being a travel nurse is you're there because the assignment place is struggling to get staff. And the reason that they're struggling to get staff is because of varied reasons. It might be someone that's gone off on maternity leave. Equally, you might be on the back of something that's happened there where they've lost a lot of staff very quickly.
Yeah.
So the environment that you walk into, there's good environments and there's not so good environments. But being a travel nurse is the working part is only a percentage of it. The travel part of travel nursing is travelling. So it's seeing communities that you would never ever get to see, meet people that you never ever meet before, and you have some phenomenally good experiences. So, and it's that exploration part. So sometimes it's dividing the work from the life of travelling. You're there as a travel nurse. You're there to travel. So the other thing is preparation. And it's to go into travel nursing knowing that a lot of it is your responsibility to make sure that you travel to your destination with the right equipment and you're going to be set up for the time that you're there. Now, obviously, if you're there for a month, you only need a month's worth of stuff.
Yeah.
If you're there for 3 months with changing seasons, the extreme weather that we get here in Canada, 1 minute it's 32 degrees sunshine, next minute it's freezing cold.
Potentially snowing.
Yeah, exactly. You're away from shops a lot of the time. You've got a lot of online stuff going on, but it's really doing your research and making sure that you've got everything that you need when you get to that assignment, even down to probably like camping pots and pans.
Yep.
You can go into an accommodation that's got one pan. What do? Well, there's no shop you can go and get a pan. So either you've got to make one, throw one out from a dustbin lid or something, or you kind of learn from that. And the other thing is put a lot of your own personal comforts in there. What you're comfy with at home, if you've got your favourite pillow, for instance, take your favourite pillow with you.
Yeah.
Because it makes life so much better.
It really does.
It does.
And your favorite tea or your favorite coffee or whatever it is, you
I'm
bring
all about
it.
tea, for
Yeah.
sure.
I get it.
Yes.
I'm on the road just as much, and it's everything of your comfort comes with you.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
As simple as we can.
As simple as you can. Because you've got to pack it all into one bag, 2 bags. Some places it's interesting as well to see how much stuff you can actually, and again it's about the preparation. For a start, for a lot of northern airlines, for instance, will let you take a lot more stuff and gear than what you can as a typical holiday maker. So you can start really planning out what you're going to take. Again, it's looking in advance, researching it. Ask the airlines if you're taking an aeroplane up, if you're driving up, you've got your whole car to fill up with what you need.
Yeah.
And make life easy.
Yeah.
But it is like camping. You probably remember the first time that you went camping and you forgot the can opener.
Yeah.
You took a sleeping bag that was way too cold and it was a miserable experience. But then you went on your second camping expedition and you kind of learnt from it.
Yeah.
So you take those other little bits and pieces. By the time you've been on your 25th camping expedition, you've got it down to a fine art.
You don't even need a list.
It's almost irritating how fantastic you are at camping.
I appreciate that because
I've got a tub with my toothpaste in it.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I have an air pump, or you have
Exactly.
those really important things, and it makes that contract the best that it can be.
Exactly.
Without feeling too removed of where you are. And you're right, especially isolated communities.
If you're isolated, you've got to plan to be isolated.
Yeah, plan right into it.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, personal question: favorite place to travel? If you had to pick one in the world.
Is this outside of nursing?
Outside of nursing.
You know, I've thought about that a lot,
Yeah.
and I've travelled extensively. I went to Peru last year.
Oh, yeah.
I've been to Egypt. I've been all over the place. I find that there's no real favourite
Ooh, yeah.
there, because each one is what it is. What I do find is it's the way that it is presented to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you two examples. One example, but with two parts to it. One is the Taj Mahal in India.
Yeah.
The second is Petra in Jordan. I might get a bit tearful on the Petra thing because it gets me every time. The Taj Mahal thing is you can see it from miles away. So you get in the bus and somebody on the bus will say, oh look, there's the Taj Mahal over there. Well, you've already seen it. You've kind of, look, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you've seen it on every single jigsaw puzzle, every single book,
computer screens,
everywhere you see the Taj Mahal. So by the time you get there, there's no kind of anticipation of what it's going to be like. And I find it a little bit it's a very, very beautiful building, but that excitement was taken away because you can see it's from so far away. Now, if you blend in Petra in Jordan, which is a very different thing, and you know Petra from the Indiana Jones film.
Yeah.
As typically it's claimed to fame for some bizarre reason. But it starts with a hole in the rock. And you walk through this hole in the rock, and it's what's called a wadi. So it's where an ancient river runs through the rock. And it starts going down. And you're very, very kind of narrow, and then it'll open up a little bit. But you go round a turn, and you go round another bend, and you have all these beautiful layers of rock. But the anticipation, because it's all about seeing that iconic treasury building at the end of it.
Yeah.
And you smell it. There's people in there, there's donkeys, there's horses, there's just... The whole of the world is walking through this wadi. It's bizarre, really surreal. And then you go around another corner and it's not there. Then you go around another corner and then you just see it, and it is perfectly framed in the rock, and it just takes your breath away.
Wow.
I've never seen anything quite so beautiful.
Wow.
Kind of still makes me well up because
that's
the
incredible.
effect was phenomenal. So I kind of like that.
How long did you stay staring at it?
Oh, probably about an hour.
Yeah.
Till somebody pushed me through.
Yeah, like, come on, we want to go.
You
I'm one of those people too, so I get it. I'm usually the one that gets told to move out of the way.
Come on, we've only got 15 minutes to look at it.
That's really cool. Thank you for sharing that.
No props.
If you were landed on a deserted island,
Yes.
and you were only allowed to bring 3 items with you,
Yes.
what would you bring?
Probably YouTube.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Following a guy at the moment called Alan Watts.
Oh, yeah.
Love his kind of lectures and things. So it's kind of like early morning. And then there'd probably just be normal survival items. Knife, way to start fire, that kind of stuff.
Perfect.
So if I've got YouTube, I've got the whole of the world's music, all of the world's philosophical stuff.
You got everything basically now.
Everything. Yeah, and a camera, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, because doing YouTube videos, I need a camera and I need YouTube.
There
so
we go.
that's 2 things.
So that's 2 things, and then a little survival bag.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sitting with me today.
No problems.
And thanks for representing us on the road. We
No
so
worries.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
you.
Indeed.